Hi, and here's a quick update on why the launch was scrubbed yesterday. I've just listened to NASA's press conference, and as we can see here, there are four engines on the main stack of the SLS rocket. Now, what happens is that before they can inject the fuel for launch into these engines, they must first cool the engines down, because if the engines are too warm, when they're hit with a very cold hydrogen and liquid oxygen, this can cause a distortion of the engines. So the process is fairly simple. Now, this is very diagrammatic representation, but liquid hydrogen is slowly pumped in and around the engine, and then it is vented off, and this cycle is repeated for a period of time until the engines reach a temperature of about minus 250 degrees Celsius. Now, after the allowed time, 3 of the engines, 1, 2, and 4, were at minus 245 degrees, and this was considered to be cool enough for a go. But engine number 3 was still at minus 230 degrees, and this was considered a no-go situation. Now, the launch window, that is the window of time that the Earth is in the proper orientation in its rotation to the moon to allow the rocket to launch, was about 2 hours. Now, they lost the guts of an hour of that window to local thunderstorms, which obviously when they're fueling the rocket, they don't want it to be hit by thunder. By lightning. So the process was delayed by an hour. There was also predicted rain shortly before the window was due to end. And again, this might deter the proper and safe launch. So the remaining time frame was too short to resolve the issue. Now, they believe that the issue may be, and in the press conference, they gave strong indication that the issue was more that the sensor in the engine was actually misreading, because it's not just based on one sensor, but there's a whole load of other data which gives an indication as to what the temperatures of the rockets would be. Now, this would take some time to cross-reference and to make sure that it was a faulty sensor. But there wouldn't have been enough time to do this within the launch time frame, so they scrubbed the mission. Now, there is now a new launch window for this coming Saturday between 17 minutes past 7 and 17 minutes past 9 p.m. Irish time. And what they're going to do different is they're going to start the cooling process earlier in the procedure, so that it will give them longer time to deal with any issues that might arise, and also that they would be able to cross-check the other data, because they're using the same sensor. The rocket is remaining on the pad, and this doesn't allow them to do deep engineering work, so they cannot change the sensor. So if the sensor gives the same reading and it is still faulty, they want to be able to fall back on the other data, which would confirm that the sensor is faulty and the actual temperature of the engine is correct. But they will require time to do this, so they're going to give themselves that time. Having said that, there's actually a 60% chance that weather will infringe on the launch window on Saturday as well. So it's going to be fairly tight. But we keep our fingers crossed, and we hope that everything else will go smoothly, and that Artemis will eventually launch on Saturday. So look out for my next report on Saturday, September 3rd, when hopefully I will be reporting that we are good for go. Thank you. Chat to you later.